All right, ladies and gentlemen, so today we have a little bit of a different video. We're going to be doing coolant hard pipes on the E46. But first, I'm going to show you a little bit kind of what it takes to set this shot up to record this with the phone today. Maybe we'll do a video later this week, a video on all of our camera equipment. You guys are probably going to be a little bit alarmed by it and how much this stuff costs. It should be very interesting. I think I will actually write that down and do that. So the E46 has been really good. It's been really, really good since put it back together, but it does have two problems. It has more than two problems. It has two major issues. We went pretty extensive with this thing. Let me just take it off the tripod and show you. All right, so it does start up every time, runs no problem. I've not actually driven it, but you know, in and out of the shop. Problem number one, we have a little bit of power steering leakage going. Looks like it's coming from the rack, so it's probably that banjo fitting. We'll sort that out. Also has a code for the mass airflow. When we bought this car, it had like 3 different mass airflows with it, so I just stuck one on. But you can see there's like, what is that? Oil coming out of the bottom of that a little bit. And this one has no name brand on it, so we all know that does not work. So I'm going to have to rummage through everything here. Try to find another mass airflow we probably don't have, and swap out to a brand new one. Probably have to buy a brand new one, and they're probably close to $200. But I mean, it's got to be done, right? The other thing we got. So if you guys remember, about a week ago, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, we made a video, put the engine in this thing, everything was good. Probably 2 months ago. I'm not a very good judge of time anymore in my old age. It all kind of runs together here. Anyhow, we put the engine in. We had a little bit of a coolant drip, a coolant leak, and I used the URO brand hoses, hard pipes, and these pipes here, and they just like didn't quite work. At that point in time when I bought those, I could not find the OEM ones. I don't know what the issue with that was, but we kind of have issue with that. That's G-Wagon stuff there. It's not for this. So these are actually BMW ones, like legit BMW stuff. You can see right there. And this comes in like a little kit. The 2 hard pipes comes with this hose. We didn't really need this. I think I may have already replaced this, but it came together so I could buy them. So I bought them. It's like 150 or Jesus, $160 for that stuff. Basically $50 a hose. And we got to put those on. So look at all the. This is just for a phone stuff. With the big camera, use a little bit more stuff, more than likely. Just to recap, this was an engine swap. This car had pulled head studs when we first bought it. Bought for cheap, and I thought I'd rescue this car. So this is a 2003 325 XI. So all-wheel drive, black on black interior. The leather's all nice in it. So we pulled the engine, swapped the engine. We got it from Eric, My Dude Cars, and made us a killer deal on the engine. The engine's great. While we had it out, we did front rear main seal, oil pan gasket, oil filter housing gasket, all L-ring stuff. We did replacement valve cover, which is not OEM, but we haven't had any issues with these, so we'll use them again. We did, I believe we did new coil packs in this one. No, I'm sorry, I can't remember. I think it had new ones with it, or we bought new ones for it, one of the two. Anyway, that's all been done. The Dissa, the one that came in, it was junk. I did have a good one here on the shelf. That was totally fine. This does have upper and lower throttle body boots are both new and both good quality. I don't remember if there's an OEM. One's OEM I had here. The other one was one that came with it. It was not OEM, but it looked and fit totally fine. We also did expansion tank. We did upper and lower radiator hoses. Fevy Bilstein hoses. The expansion tank is OEM because if you don't get an OEM expansion tank, it will not work on this car. We did not replace that lower hose. Okay, I'll put that on. Anyhow, water pump. I think that was the Mally brand or OEM. I can't remember. No, this is Mally brand. The water pump is OEM. I can see it stamped right there. We did Vano seals. Rebuilt all the Vano seals. PCV. This was a URO parts PCV because I could not find well, there's a couple of them on there for like 250 bucks, OEM PCVs. This one actually fit really good, seemed to have no issues at all. So it seemed like it runs okay. So that's a good thing. Cleaned the out of the control wire in there. Took a wire, ran through the dipstick to make sure the dipstick tube is not stopped up. Put a new O-ring on the dipstick, reinstall, put an OEM oil filter on it. One thing I did not buy for this car is a new, oh no, steps in oil, is a new power steering filter. We may just go ahead and do that. It's kind of like one of the last things here, visually that we need to do. All the cowling is in the trunk. And this thing's been sitting outside just for a little bit. We do need to top off the transmission one more time and make sure it's totally full. We did change the front diff fluid, 2 new front CV axles, all new control arms. All right, all new control arms, all new tie rods, inner and outer, sway bar links, CV axles are all new. That is not new. This thing has to have tires before we sell it. There's just no way around this, boys and girls. We did not do the sway arm or the sway bar bushings. Look like they're actually pretty good. You can see there, a nice close up of it. All new pulleys. We need to put the AC belt on. We have a brand new one for that. Continental belt. Put the new belt on here. All new idlers, like I said. I&A brand, which needs to be the factory for this. Brand new radiator. You can see right here. And the lower hose. And a power steering leak. It's hard to tell where it's coming from. We will sort that out. This light's almost dead. Looks like it's coming from that hose. Maybe leaking from the bottom where the drain hose is. That's easy to sort. We'll have to take a little carb cleaner and spray all this crap off. This one I did not clamp on yet. I need to do that. But we need to adjust all the tie rods. We need to line it up. It's just kind of finger together. That's what she said. For right now. And you see the kit came with all new ball joints. All new lowers. All new lollipops. Remember, we threw away the lollipops, the bushings in the kit, and we put an actual OEM lemon Dolphin, lemon Forder, whatever the hell it is, deal in it. Put all new O-rings in the trainee cooler because that was not sealing correctly. And what else did we put on this thing? I don't remember. All kinds of stuff. New CV axle on there. We also rebuilt the transfer case bushing. You can see there, she's all brand new. Also, dry shaft carrier bearing that we both might already replace. That was good to go. So, now you guys know all about it. Let's go under the hood and see what we can figure out. Anyhow, what we're going to need is our little Makita. We don't have to have this. You could just use a regular ratchet. Little Makita power ratchet. 1/4 inch drive, 10 mil for our throttle body bolts. Long screwdriver for the 2 clamps. Take throttle body boot off. A magnet just in cases. Here we have a whole box of our Torx sockets, all sizes. There we go. 11 mil to take the intake manifold off, the bolts in it. A pry bar in case you want to separate the vacuum log on top. I think we could probably do this without doing this, but plop this down here like it's first time I ever used this. Look at that, all shaky and crap. And that's pretty much it. So, without any further ado, take 2 seconds, pop some gloves on here. We're gonna knock it out. Also, a lot of you guys are wondering, why do you always use these cheap ass clear gloves? Why do you always use these? Right? These are like $35 per case of them. So if you're gonna do something nasty, and especially with us here, we have to touch something gross. Take the gloves off, touch the camera, in this case the phone. We throw them off. Take them off, throw them away, you don't feel bad. We have expensive gloves here too. We have all kinds of gloves. But these work totally fine for what we need to do. So first things first. Let's get in here and remember what we need. This is a little different set than we need. First thing we gotta do is take the disc off. Okay, so let's pop that off of there. End up using our 8 mil. So while we had long screwdriver, if they're pivoted up, The hose clamps, you have to use a very long screwdriver to get them out. And it seems like for some reason, most of these that we get, if I had the engine out already and the clamps are like impossible to reach from that area. They're pointed backwards or something crazy. So anyhow, next up, we're gonna do the throttle body. We're going to do, I think we could probably leave some of this stuff in here on this one. So we're not taking everything out because the PCV is already new. So all we're looking for is a little bit of slack. All right, T30 for these. Now chances are, when you get one of these cars, these are all going to be switched around and the wrong bolts in them. That's just like run-of-the-mill E46 stuff. Let's go and pull out the cold start valve. Okay. Unplug it. To unplug it, you squeeze. That bell is so hard to push on there. There it is. Cold start valve. Always make sure the valve is loose. That one is loose. Next up is going to be our 10 mil for the throttle body. So let's go ahead and extract that right now. I think while we got our impact out here, let's go ahead and use our power ratchet for that. And this thing was not in the right position. We noticed whenever I was putting these hard pipes in, they did not fit well. So as I was putting it together, we already assumed they had to come back apart. But I wanted to hear the car run and verify the engine was good before we went any further. So we went ahead and put her back together. We're gonna have to lose this tension here. Get to the last one. Might take her a little swivel. Oh, we got it out. There's the last bolt. Throttle body is out. Got to unplug it on the bottom. Just trying to get it pivoted around to get to the plug. Well, there it is. Throttle body's out. I did spray that out. It's not totally clean. We did spray out the carburetor cleaner. Put that right there. Next up, there is a bolt that holds this in. Here is the gas tank evap. We're just going to lay it off to the side. But yeah, there is a bolt that holds it in. I believe it was a 19 mil. Okay. This is actually a 17 mil. Well, you say, how can you not know that you're taking some of these apart? Well, I've also taken a bunch of other cars apart and done a bunch of things since I've done one of these. So, have to pardon me if I can't remember, all right? All right, so next up, let's gingerly remove this. We don't want to break that. We're not going to go any further than that with that thing. Next up, let's remove the Van Alstyl solenoid. Or not remove it, we'll unplug it. Let's go and unplug the manifold air temperature sensor, which is right there. Now, when it comes down to these injectors are on a rail. These are flipped around the wrong way too, I believe. Pry bar, a lot of you guys squeal when I do this. We're gonna take our pry bar and we're gonna set it down there right on top of that injector. We're just gonna pop it out. Just like that. Just like that. Like that. like that, like that, and like that. Are they all off? This one here is not off. All right. I'll try to pick this guy up out of here. There it is. There we go. And we don't want to disturb these hoses in here. Get out of there. Get out of there. Tuck that back there. Fuel injectors. The fuel injectors are held in by they're held by 10 mil bolts. And you can see up here, get this thing just off of the car, on top, there's bolts that hold that down. So we're not going to take apart the fuel injectors, take them out of the rail, because if we do that, what we're going to have is a shop full of stinky gas, and we don't want to do that. So we're loading up our 10 mil here, coming here like so. Got one. Got two. Three. And 4 10 mil bolts. Put those in our tray. Wipe our hands off, and then we're going to take the same pry bar, ever so gingerly, and we're going to go down under each fuel injector and gently pry up on it. Pop that one out, that one came out, that one came out, that one came out. That one did not come out, and that one is also out. So far, without leaking any fuel, we have the fuel injectors all out in the rail. So what we should be able to do is fish this up and around. Well, we can't do anything with it, but let's take the manifold, at least we can. So now we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 or 11 mil bolts out. And to do that, we're going to use our or 3/8 drive impact, an 11 mil socket. All right, 12, 11. Comes with me 11 millimeter. And then I'm also going to grab my magnet that I showed you in the very first part of the video. Now, what we're going to do, let's go down here in the very front. Drop that one, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, boys, we've got a whole bolt bin full of them. All right, so we're just gonna pull this back off of here real gingerly. There's gonna be a solenoid back here. Got the hook, and we did not hook the drain from the PVC to the oil dipstick, which we will do right meow. Get me all dirty. Okay, that's unhooked. Now we're also going to have this line's going to be hooked to the bottom of it. Like I said, we probably don't have to even take that off. So this is free, that's free, that's free. Do that. And then so we actually have the cam wires over the top of this. which is likely because I put this on after it was in. So let's see, can we get it off of there? Brand new fitting, can we get the pinch pipe off of there? No, why not? Okay, a different pair of pliers. There it is. We'll put that over in our safe place. Now that'll allow us to free any wires up there. Let's see if we have enough slack. Where's our solenoid at here, boys and girls? Unplug our solenoid. Battery is unhooked. And that should have us. We should be good. Yes, yes, yes. Leave the vacuum line on the bottom hooked up. Gingerly prop it up in there, just like so, and we have full access up underneath here. Jesus, knocking on everything. Have full access to the pipes, which now at point shouldn't take but 5 minutes. Swap them out. Should be real easy. So what we're gonna do here is get a little pick, like you pick your nose with. And we're gonna go in here. We got a pan under the car. Before we're gonna bolt anything, we're gonna pull this little bail on this hose. All right. We're gonna pull that off. Now my calculations are right. It should make a huge mess over the floor. Nope, they're wrong. Put that back down so you don't lose it. Once you do that, there is a 13 mil bolt right here. No. You ain't going nowhere. You stay right there. Is a 10. What the 10 does, it actually holds in the head of that bolt. I'll put that right there, that over here. And where's our magnet? We're going to pull out this guy right here. And we're going to extract this. Now, our Vanos line is in the way. So what we're going to do, on some of these cars, the Vanos line is 17. Some of them is 19. So we do have a West Virginia socket set sitting right here. Is that going to reach? No, it's going to hit the sensor. It's going to hit the sensor, boys. It's going to hit the sensor. This car is a 19. Okay. Can't break it. Double wrench action. Now don't forget to tighten that back up or you will be sorry. So sorry. Okay. Oh yeah. Something tells me that all that's not going to hit our bucket. All right, so here's the old hose. You can see still all brand new. Still got the grease I used to put on it. And you 100% do have to grease these to put them back on. Let's put this. Oh yeah, that didn't make it in the bucket at all. All right, so let's go take the other one. We're gonna unhook the hose first. It's a very important thing before you actually take anything at all. Off, put that in the pan. There we go. Before you take the bolts out, always take the hoses off first, otherwise it's a real SOB to get those off. Okay. I think that one sounds like maybe it's going in the pan. And then our 13 mil bolt. Now, we had problems. This other bolt was about a ½ inch off from lining up. So that was the first suspicion something was awry. Put that over there. Pull that out. You can see the grease. Oh my God. Oh my God. See the grease that's still on it from before? Get that little wipey wipe. And where it was leaking was actually this fitting right here in this pipe. So can you actually see a difference between the new one and the old one? So here's the new one. It's kind of hard to, a little hard to line those up, but you can see a little bit of difference. Well, not really. Yeah. See on this. See how much further down the new one goes? This one's like shorter. Here's my gripe about it. I'll tell you what, before I do that, we're gonna get sidetracked. Let's fit up the new one and make sure it fits. I have no doubt that it won't because it's OEM. And then before we do that, let's grease our O-rings here. 2 seconds, boys, we'll get her knocked out. Use a little bit of that, like a water-based grease. You don't want petroleum-based. And then since everything's brand new, ordinarily at this point, you would clean the hole out, you clean everything out, but we've already done that. That one lines up, and that one does too. Perfection. Perfection, I would say. And just to verify our other one fit right, so we should be totally good on that. Where the hell is it at? Let's make sure everything is good with that. We need to grease that and take, oh my God. Little deal came off of there already. That goes, the insert came right out of it. So that's how you know, boys. That's how you know it's junk. But yeah, it looks like that'll fit, no issue at all. Like I said, they could even Chinese make this one and there was no issue. Now, here's my qualm about it. The Chinese part situation is real. It's very real. It's so real, the Chinese have cloned everything so much, they've now gone to OEM parts. Now they're making OEM parts, which are also junk. When we go to buy anything Makita, we have to watch out. Because it used to be, there was Chinese clones of Makita stuff, and now Makita's hired out China to make some of their tools. So if we get a tool in and it breaks, guess where it's made? Every time. It's really a problem. So Bear, Hella, Febby Bilstein, everybody is being made in China. The standards there are not good enough for most parts. A lot of recycled plastic. Mercedes is in love with using recycled plastic, so is BMW for OEM parts. That's stupid. It never holds up, especially on engine stuff. That's why we have such high failure rate on brand new cars, valve covers, all the coolant lines. Most of that now is all recycled plastic. It's really, really an issue. When it comes down to it, will it be fixed? No, it won't. They will not fix that. Why won't they fix that? They're not in the business to make a car last forever. They're in a business to sell a car right here and now. Maybe it'll last for a few years, blow up, they can sell you another car. That's the only mindset. There's no other mindset. That's it. They like to be able to sell you parts. There again, they're selling you plastic parts again. You're going to come back and buy them in a few years, and they're going to sell you again in a few years, over and over and over and over and over. Most of the car manufacturers have gone that way. These days, even Honda's gone that way to the new stuff. Toyota's gone that way to the new vehicles. Toyota and Honda probably not quite to the extent all the Germans have, but the Germans sold out to China, boys. It's a situation like we've never seen before. It's a plague to biblical proportions like we've never seen before. Is there an end to it? Nope, there's not. There has to be a horrific reckoning for that to ever get fixed, and that just won't work. Just won't, right? So there is that. That's my old man for advice for today. That's taking your intake off, replacing your coolant hard pipes. We'll just snap them on. The installation is the reverse of the removal. Your first time doing this will take you probably the first time you ever done it, probably take a couple hours. We did it here in what, 20 minutes? 15, 20 minutes, something like that. But we just had it apart, so it made it tremendously easier. But that's it. We'll see you back very soon. We're going to try to do a video every day this week, guys. We're going to try to do it. We'll also do the camera equipment video. I'll tell Philip to get his ass on that, show you guys all the equipment you use. I think it should be very interesting. That's it. See y'all later.